Ew, ew. Big fish ish, man. Y'all know what it is. All right, so today we got another talk on energy, the power of energy, the power of manifestation, the law of attraction, vibration, and this is something that I think a lot of us should tap into, and it's the understanding of how our mind and the visions and what we dream and what we conceive in our brain turns into reality. And one of the things that, as I'm doing a lot of reading, I talked about before, they emphasize how important imagination is. Don't quote me on the exact quote, but I believe Albert Einstein, he was discussing how to create smart, intelligent kids. And he said to read them fairy tales. And then he said, or somebody asked, I guess somebody was asked, or he mentioned, how do you make even smarter kids? Read them more fairy tales. All right. So how do you make smart kids? Read them fairy tales. How do you make even more smart kids or smarter kids? Read them more fairy tales. And that's tapping into the imagination. And a lot of us do this without even understanding the energy that we're projecting out. So therefore, we're questioning the energy that's coming back our way. So I'm gonna give an example. Like, we tend to focus on our fears, certain things that we'll tell ourselves, I need this. Let's say if we're talking about needing money, I really need money. I need money. I need money. Our brain isn't able to decipher between us saying that we need something. It just focuses on the energy, the negative vibrations, that need, that yearning for something. It's the fear of not having it. So that's what our brain tends to focus on, or does focus on, rather than focusing on abundance. I have this money. It's already coming my way. I embrace it. Then we're putting out a energy that's more aligned with wanting to receive money, that we are already living in abundance, that we're just waiting for, the cash, the check to go through. Like, we already have the money. We already have it. We're living in abundance. We're imagining what our life is with the money. We're embracing all these things. So therefore, the vision that we're creating in our brains, that's the one that we're projecting out. Not, oh, I need money. I need money. It's more so just, I'm living in abundance of money. I have this money, and I'm just figuring out, the best ways to spend it, to invest it, all these different things. How many people that I can impact? What's that going to feel like? When I have this money and I'm able to bless so many different other people. That's when those opportunities and that energy is going to come back our way in a positive way, rather than just focusing on, oh, I need this, because we're just focusing on the lack. So therefore, the energy and the focus is on lacking something, being deprived of something, rather than the abundance, which is really what we're looking for. So just that shift in perspective can change everything for us. And it's almost, it reminds me of um, like letting go. You heard this saying, let go and let God. Uh, Now, I'm not a part of a particular religion. However, I'm big on God, and I'm big on godly energy. And I remember when I was facing probably the hardest thing that I had to do, or that I thought was my greatest task. And I was stressed out. I was calling the house crying, just not crying like bawling, but just like frustrated, like real frustrated, calling old friends that, I used to play ball with. And it was just a real frustrating position to be in. It was when I was in camp, for the Colts, and Mookie, my boy Mook, he pulled me to the side one day, and he just said, "Yo, like, you got to just let go and let God." And I was talking to him about, me kind of, he saw that I really wanted something to happen, and I was struggling with just, getting frustrated, because it seemed like the more that I tried hard, like little dumb stuff would happen where, it's almost, if you play sports or just in life, when you have a negative fear, like I'm doing this because I don't want to get cut. I don't want this to happen. I don't, if I get cut, then this is going to happen. I'm going to lose my car. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to, have to move back home. Now you're focusing on all the negative things. So therefore you're projecting that energy out. So your actions and the stuff that comes back our way is going to be aligned with that thinking. So it wasn't really like, I'm realizing that it wasn't from, or maybe I'm trying to decipher between what that power was. And now I see it a lot clearer than I did at the time. And it was when he said, let go and let God, it was for me like, yo, you've already done all the work. You deserve to be here. Take care of what you could take care of, handle stuff, as best you can on your end, control the controllables, and let the rest, let it fall where it may. And what it did was it put me in a more relaxed state to where I'm expecting to be successful. I'm expecting to have a great practice. I'm expecting to outcompete everybody. I'm expecting to have a great preseason game. I'm expecting for the coaches to embrace me. Not this mindset like, oh, the coach won't give me a try, all negative stuff. And then, you start thinking like that, and then you start to perform in a way to where it proves why the coach won't give you a shot. So if we're able to kind of just shift our mindset to not be scared and not be fearful and not focus on the negative, but have a positive outlook on things. And why have a positive outlook on things? Because we know what's coming our way. We know that we already put out amazing energy, and we know that we're just waiting for what we visualize to come to fruition in this world, in this reality. So energy is something that, I've been very big on lately. Vibrations, visualizing things, and using our imagination. It's something that's so important. Everything that we see in this world was first created just with a thought, just with a visual in our mind. So without getting too deep into it, because I do want to continue to have these conversations, I just think that it's important for us to understand that whatever it is that we're projecting out in the world, we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful in how we position it, because we may think that our brains are able to decipher between, I don't want this, all these things that I'm thinking about in my head, I don't want them to happen. Your brain doesn't work like that. It just focuses on all the things that you're thinking about. But there's a benefit to that, because we can flip it and use it for the positive. All we need to do is focus on positive, amazing, purposeful abundance. I was having a conversation yesterday with my bro Mont, and we were both just discussing, and I just different things going on. He's a sheriff in Essex County, and I just told him, I said, yo, the energy is just off. Like the energy, like it's just a lot of weird energy going around right now. And he said, you mean in the world, right? And I said, yeah. And the energy that's going around right now can easily be switched. It can easily be switched, simply be switched. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's very simple for us to just shift how we're thinking, shift from a scared mentality, a fearful mentality, to be in a more abundance, giving, positive mentality. And if we're able to do all these things, then we can literally have anything it is that our mind can visualize, anything that we can imagine. If somebody was to sit here and tell you right now, like, yo, if you could do anything, if you could be anything, imagine it right now. If you can create a world based on your imagination, what would you visualize? Close your eyes and do it right now. What would you visualize? Like, let's do it right now. I'm going to take 15 seconds to just visualize what our lives would be living in just amazing, purposeful abundance, where everything is positive, our family's healthy, all these, whatever that looks like for you. We're going to take 15 seconds. Close your eyes and just visualize it. All right. It's up. Life is amazing. I was getting ready to say life is about to be amazing. Life is amazing. Like everything's an opportunity. If we want it to be, we can take the good, the positive from any situation, any encounter that we have, and we can create whatever it is that we really want simply by imagining something and then believing in it and having the desire to take the necessary action to just follow through with stuff. When doors open, when opportunities present themselves, we just have to be ready to embrace them. All right. We have to just embrace it, just like we have to embrace the positive thoughts that we want to be projected into our reality. All right. So, more positive thinking, more just moving with a energy that is aligned with everything that we want, but seeing it as we already have it. We already have it. Um, we're just waiting for it to come to fruition in reality in certain ways or different opportunities that present themselves. But we already have it. We have to believe that. And if we do that, we could really shift the culture. We could shift anything. That's how we really shift things. We believe that it can be like we're taught and society teaches us that it's so hard to do certain things and that it takes certain things that we may not possess ourselves to really make an impact, but it's just not true. It's not true. And all we have to do is read different books um, from successful people, from impactful people. And the biggest difference between them and somebody else that probably just never tried is just an imagination and the desire to follow through with the opportunities that present themselves, what we call acting on energy. All right. So let's be purposeful, let's be intentional, and let's be super positive about everything it is that we're allowing to creep into our mind. And let's drown out all the negative with just positive, purposeful abundance and everything it is that we want to happen because we know that we'll make a positive impact with it. So, with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. Make sure that as you go through the day, that you're just thinking about smiling. Thinking about just having an amazing energy. I always go back to my big bro Jim Dory, where he says before his feet touch the bed in the morning, he puts a smile on his face. That's setting the intentions for the day. So even if you're having, what may not be the best day, reset. Take 5 minutes to just close your eyes, um, daydream. You know what I mean? Reset, like get a proper reset, reset that energy to be more aligned with um, what we want rather than fearful of what we're lacking. All right. So let's get to it. Strength and honor, onward and upward. Let's get to the bag with integrity, of course. Ew.